Hey everybody, you've been listening to the Let's Talk with Carolyn radio show. That was house music I was playing for all my house heads. And tonight we have discussed building up your immune system and the foods, the spices, the essential oils. And now I'm going to talk about the herbs to build up your immune system. Hold on. So let's talk about the herbs to help you build up your immune system. That is garlic, mushrooms, blueberries, angiographies, and tea. That would be black tea and green tea. Cordyceps, and I know y'all might not care for this one, Japanese knotweed, ginger and turmeric comes up again because they are herbs, and broccoli sprouts. So those are the herbs that helps build up your immune system. So let's do a recap for a minute. We talked about the 7 essential oils: lemon, oregano, eucalyptus, frankincense, tea tree, lavender, and rosemary. We also talked about On Guard, which is more preventive than reactive because it helps protect your body against viruses and bacteria. And we talked about spices. I gave you the spices. The spices are turmeric, ginger, cayenne pepper, garlic, and cinnamon. As for the foods, I told you citrus fruits, and I named some fruits: red bell peppers, broccoli, garlic, poultry, sunflower seeds, low-fat yogurt, turmeric, almonds, tea tree, tea, green, white, and black. I got tea tree on my mind. And shellfish, and I told you what shellfish, why, and what they contain. Then we went into the food bracket. Elderberry, I told you about that. Button mushrooms, watermelon, spinach, miso, pomegranate juice, acai berry, oysters, wheat germ, sweet potato, chicken soup. And I told you why about that. Moving on. This is just a recap. Back to the herbs: garlic, mushrooms, blueberries, angiographies, tea, black and green for herbs, cordyceps, Japanese knotweed, ginger, and turmeric, and broccoli sprouts. That brings us up to our next segment. And our next segment is creating your stimulus check. Creating your stimulus check. Now let's talk about the stimulus check. People got either $1,200 and up, depending on how many kids you have. $500 per child. And some people don't qualify for a stimulus check. Some people, there's a petition, let me put it this way. There's a petition that is circulating amongst some organizations, and they needed so many signatures because certain groups of people do not qualify or not eligible for a stimulus check. And these individuals are upset. These individuals are mad. And my thing is, why are you mad? Why are you upset? And the thing about it is this: to get that stimulus check, you would have had to file your taxes for 2018 and 2019. Not only that, the IRS must know your banking information so you can get your check direct deposit. That says to me, tracking system. I don't know about y'all, but that's a nice little way for our government to track us. Because now for everybody that has direct deposit and the IRS has your banking information, and if you ever owe the IRS any money, they can just go into your bank account and take it because you gave them the information willingly, all because you wanted $1,200. That's real smart. I was talking to a colleague and she says, you know what? I'm gonna just change my banking information. Okay, but they got your social security number. They can still track you. What you gonna do? They're gonna go into your bank account if you ever owe the IRS any money and take it. Now I'm gonna tell you something else. That little stimulus check you got, whether it was $1,200 or $5,000, guess what? You gotta pay it back. And a lot of y'all may be saying, no, I don't. Oh, yes, you do. You're paying it back. Whether you want to pay it back or you don't want to pay it back, either way, the IRS is going to get their money back on the next go round when you are due for a refund. If we are out of the woods with this freaking pandemic and the country opens back up and the economy works their way back out of this recession, if you are due a refund, you might not get it because you got an advance. The stimulus check that everybody running around getting, that's an advance. Your stimulus check is an advance. And when it comes back around again, you got to pay it back. So let's talk about how to create your own stimulus check and not worry about the $1,200 that the government is so quickly to give you. They're not giving you that for free. Come on. Are y'all serious? Since when our government going to give us some money for free? Think about that. Why? Because we in a pandemic and we in a recession. Yeah, they giving it to you, but they also have in writing how the hell they getting it back. Nobody thought about that. Nobody thought about how the government is going to get $2 trillion back. The same way they gave it to you is the same way they're going to take it back. Create your own stimulus check, people. Start a business. So here we go. Everyone has a talent, a skill. You were born with a talent and a skill. You should be thinking, and let this, you know what, this thing we're going through right now should be a wake-up call for people who felt as though they were in a comfortable position. They had a good job, making great money, awesome money, super fantastic money, superficialicious money, and they were comfortable. And they felt as though, and there's people out here like that, and they felt as though, you know what, I've been on this job for X amount of years. They can't get rid of me. I'm too valuable to this job. You may have made yourself indispensable to that job up until now. Then what? Did you have any savings? Maybe, maybe not. Are you dipping into your savings now if you had savings? Maybe, maybe not. If you had a brick and mortar business, what did you do? Did you have a risk management plan in place for you, your independent contractors, or your employees? Maybe, maybe not. So people, whether you are a W-2 or a W-9 or a 1099, this thing that we're going through should have made everybody think, how can I prepare in case this ever happens again in my lifetime or in my children's lifetime or their children's lifetime? What should I do to start creating a legacy in case this happens again? And my children's children can be prepared for this. Because the last time this happened, this national emergency, this pandemic, was, I believe it was 1918, and it was the flu when it first came out, and all those people died. But with this freaking pandemic, this national emergency, more people have died with this one than it did in 1918 or 1915. I believe it was 1918. If I'm wrong, somebody let me know that I'm wrong. But I believe it was 1918. That was the last one. And now we have this one. Now there's some rumors, some conspiracy theories about this one. Then there's some truth out there about this one. And I have given y'all the truth. Hopefully y'all paid attention to me. I don't know. Some people listen, some people don't. The ones that still sleep because you still got the blinders on, you're the ones that's going to be left behind. You're the ones, if you still got your blinders on because you're still sleeping, you're the one that's not going to be prepared because you got blinders on. People, take the freaking blinders off. No need to have them on at all. So access your talents. That's number one. Number two is examine your skills. What is it that you love to do? Everybody has a skill. Brainstorm. Think about what you can do. What is your talents? What is your skills? What is your God-given skills that you were born with? And you had an idea, but you put it on the freaking back burner because of what? No time. Don't have enough time to devote to an idea that might can set your ass free or create a legacy for you and your family. And you feel as though, you know what? It's just an idea. I'm not going to do nothing with it. I say to you, if that's you, that whatever idea you had, you put it to the forefront of your mind, because it's all about a paradigm shift in the mental mindset. And you get busy. You start brainstorming. If you got a spouse, a significant other, a side chick, a side dude, children, grandma, grandpa, somebody. Start brainstorming, because this right here is a wake-up call. Brainstorm your skills and your talents. Number 3, combine your talents and skills and create a business plan. Not a long one, but just a short one. Stick to what's in front of you. Write down your talents. Write down your skills. Put the two together and create a business plan. Just a short one, because we're going to get into something else after this. Number 4, determine if your ideas work as a home-based business. Determine if your ideas work as a home, key word here is as a home-based business. Don't think you can start a manufacturing company at home. Nope, nothing like that. But definitely something that you can create at home, and you can do it from home. And I want y'all to think about this. Think about all of the people that we know of, but we don't personally know them. And right now, we're using their products in our homes. Those individuals started out of their apartment, or either out of their basement, or some part of their home. It's not a far-fetched idea, people. If they did it and we're using their products, like right today, we are. If they can do it, so can you. You might not be a Steve Jobs, AOL. You might not be a Bill Gates, Microsoft. But you know what? You might not be a Mark Zuckerberg. All these people started at home. Mark Zuckerberg, college student. Look at him today. Are we using their products today? Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, Microsoft. Some people still got AOL. They all started out as home-based business. Get busy with your talents and your skills, loved ones. It's time to do a mental shift. And this right here should be your wake-up call. Number 5, determine your profit. Let's break that down. Determine how much money you want to make. How much money do you want to make in a week? How much money do you want to make in a month? How much money do you want to make in a year? That's how you're going to break it up. Not down, but up. How much money with your talents, with your skills, with a product that you create or a service that you create, but I'm shifting for product, because when it comes down to services, guess what? Everybody's quarantined. We're on a stay-at-home order. So is a service, really a home-based business service, going to benefit you in a time like this? No, it isn't. So think product-wise. You think product-wise, hey, you can offer curbside service like Applebee's and Chick-fil-A. If you have a product, you can offer curbside service. or delivery service. I know of one of my colleagues. She's so high on life right now. And she high on life right now because she's clocking $5,000 a day doing curbside service. She has her products. They cash app her the money. She drive to their house, drop it on their doorstep, call and tell them it's on the doorstep, and leave and go to the next delivery. Just planting some seeds, y'all. Just planting some seeds. So determine how much of a profit you want to make. That's step 5. And then break it up. How much money do you want to make in a week? How much money do you want to make in a month? How much money do you want to make for the year? How much money do you want to make for the year? Then after you decide how much money do you want to make in that year, you need to ask yourself, are they going to pay that price? Whoever your niche market is, whoever your target market is, or whoever you are trying to sell it to, you decide how much is your product going to cost, and is people going to pay that price? Once you determine that, you can come up with how much money do I want to make in a week? How much money do I want to make in a month? How much money do I want to make in a year? Okay? After you do that, create a business plan. Now we're going to get into creating the business plan. So when it comes to creating the business plan, you need to decide your marketing strategy, your financial plan, your operating plan. That is your starting point. And for those of you who feel as though, you know what, I don't have no talents. Wow, I disagree with you, because you definitely got some talents. You just got to brainstorm and bring them out. So let's talk about, because when we're talking about talents, we're talking about personality traits. Now, I'm talking to the people who feel as though they don't have talent, because you do have people that feel like that, and I'm saying that you do. But your talent is based on your personality traits. So let's talk about that. I'm going to ask you some questions. Are you creative? Just answer these questions mentally to yourself. Are you creative? Are you detail oriented? Are you a strong communicator? Are you persistent and determined so bad that you can taste it? And are you a quick learner? Answer those questions to yourself. You don't need to answer me, just answer the questions to yourself. Now, let's get into some more. Are you open to experience? Are you coachable? Are you self-reliant? Are you even motivated towards your goals, towards your achievement? Do you have self-efficacy? Are you comfortable with taking risks? Big one. Are you comfortable with taking risks? Because I'm going to tell you this. There's a risk in everything we do. There's a risk in your job that you are so comfortable with. There is definitely a risk in creating a legacy for your family. there's definitely a risk in creating your vision and bringing it to reality. But it's yours. Something no one can ever take from you unless you let them. I'm just saying, everybody. You have been listening to the Let's Talk with Carolyn radio show on Sador Radio. I am Carolyn, your host. I am on every Monday night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. I will be right back after this message. Hope y'all enjoy my show. I'm having fun tonight. Welcome back to the Let's Talk with Carolyn radio show on Sador Radio. I am here every Monday night, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can download the Sador Radio on your Android or on your iPhone in your Google Play Store or your app or your iTunes Play Store or your Apple Play Store, whatever store you have. Type in Sador, SADIOR radio. Download it to your phone. Tune in every day. Every day, tune in, especially on Monday. Why? Because I'm here and I got the house music and I got some raw, real information to give y'all that has valuable content to go with it. So we were talking about creating your stimulus check, starting a business, creating a legacy for your family. So let's go over these steps real quick. One more time before I move on to the last part. We talked about accessing your talents, examining your skills, combining your talents and your skills to create a business plan. Determine if your ideas work as a home-based business. Determine how much profit you want to make, and whatever you set up, is people going to pay that price so that you can make a profit margin. That's what we talked about. Moving on to the next part. The next part, I had posted recession and reset. So I'm going to do individuals first, and then I will get into businesses. But I'm going to do individuals first. So the first one for reset for individuals is create an emergency fund. Create an emergency fund. Now, for people that are self-employed, set aside, and I know y'all gonna say, well, Carolyn, that's a little bit too late right now. I mean, but I get that because we're actually in this thing and we're all in this thing together. But what I'm going to share with you, you can do this to prepare for the next go round. Hopefully we never have anything in life like this. But looking back on history, it's happened before. Looking back on history, this has happened before. So what I'm gonna give you, you know, you could use it, write it down, do whatever you want with it. But one thing you can never say is that you was not given the information or you didn't know, because you're hearing it here on the Let's Talk with Carolyn radio show on Sador Radio. So creating an emergency fund for the self-employed, try to set aside 1 year's worth of expenses. 1 year's worth of expenses, and hopefully you don't have a high overhead. Hopefully you don't have a high overhead. Everybody else, try to have an emergency fund. Whatever amount of money you make per month, have 3 to 4 months saved up, so that when an emergency do come along, you got yourself a cushion to last. And you won't have to be dependent on what the government is going to be handing out to us. Number 2, start paying down your debt till you don't have none. Now, it's certain things when it comes to paying debt, certain things we can't get rid of. If you got a mortgage, that shit ain't going nowhere. If you got rent, not going nowhere. You got utilities, not going nowhere. Rent, mortgage, utilities, you definitely going to have, unless you are camping out in the woods in a tiny little home with no electricity, and you're using candles or you're using flashlights. Other than that, you're going to have them. Next is food, personal items. They're not going nowhere. Not at all. What are some of the things that you can downsize on? If your cable bill is $300, you probably can get rid of that $300 cable bill. Downsize. You can't watch 5,000 channels anyway. So why pay $300 for a freaking cable bill and you can't watch all the channels on there? Not at all. And the way things are set up today, you can purchase what you want to watch on TV individually, especially on streaming devices. If you got an Amazon Fire Stick, why in the hell do you still got cable? For what? You got an Amazon Fire Stick. If you got a freaking smart TV, you in good shape. How about an Apple TV? You still in good shape. Roku, you still in good shape. So I'm giving y'all some ideas to, just start thinking about it. Credit cards. How about we don't do that? Credit cards was created to keep you in debt. Period. Besides, credit cards is money your ass don't have. You spending somebody else's money, plus you got to pay interest on it. I never understood that. I never even owned a freaking credit card because I'm a cash only person. Don't want a credit card because of my thinking pattern. And my thinking pattern is, if I can't afford it, I don't need it until I get the money and save the money, make the money, then I get it. But I'm not going to go get it on nobody's credit card and have to pay interest on it later. And then what they do is they say, you know what? You only need to pay the minimum. You know why you only need to pay the minimum? Because it takes you longer to pay it off and the interest is still building up. They don't want you paying it off early. They can't make no money off of you. You pay your credit card off early, they can't make no money off of you. Period. So try to get rid of the credit cards. That's number one. Frivolous spending. Some of you people is fucking shopaholics. You just buy shit because. What you gonna do with it? Is it a want or is it a need? Is it a want, a desire, or is it a need? That's what you need to ask yourself. If it's a want and desire, can you really live without it? I think so. If it's a need, can you live without it? Probably not. Number three, create. Oh my gosh, this one is, hold on y'all, because I just got to highlight this one. Can I highlight this? It won't let me highlight. Oh, here we go. Create additional income streams. I cannot express that no more powerful than I already have. I have always talked about creating additional income streams. Any freaking six-figure earner or seven-figure earner, billionaire, millionaire will tell you you need to create some additional income streams. They all say that. Pay attention to the people that's making the money of where you would like to be. Go to them and ask them some freaking questions. I know I do. People that I know that's making the kind of money that I want to make, I'm asking them questions. I want to know, what did you do? How did you do it? Are you willing to teach me? Because my little black ass is coachable. I'm keeping it real with y'all. That's what I do. I reach out to people. And that's what you should do. Reach out. For all the no's that you get, because sometimes people just stingy with information, I get that. But somewhere down the line, somebody's going to tell you yes. When they do, be coachable. Be willing to listen and learn and pay attention to what they're telling you. Let me tell y'all the story real quick. Several years ago, I met a woman who was much younger than me. Now, y'all all know that I'm an educator and I'm not afraid of my age or embarrassed by it. I'm 60 years old. And years ago, I met this young, beautiful, vibrant go-getter. And she There's no, the way I want to describe her, there's actually no freaking words for this, because I have a lot of respect for this young woman. And she was someone that I freaking should have paid attention to about, I'm gonna say 6, maybe 8 years ago. But because my little hard head, me being the educator, me being the alpha female, me being strong-headed, I did not listen to her. I was not coachable at that time. She gave me specific instructions to build my business. Did I do it? No. Did I lose? Did I learn a hard lesson because I was hard-headed and didn't listen? I lost. But one thing I could say about this young woman, when I reached out to her, she didn't tell me no. She didn't. She allowed me to collaborate with her. She took time out to talk to me. And anytime I go to one of her events, she let people know, and she'll say this, that lady over there with the gray hair, she was one of my first. She was hard-headed and she wouldn't listen because she wasn't coachable. But ask her now and she will tell you. And every time she do that, and those ladies look at me, only thing I can say is she's right. But over the years, I learned to be coachable. I learned to not be strong-headed and listen to people that know the method, the pathway, the direction to take me to where I need to get to, because they're going to help me get there. But I had to learn to be coachable. And today, I am where I'm halfway where I would like to be, but I still have a long way to go. And I'm coachable, and I pay to have business coaches. I pay 3 women, 3, and they are my business coaches. But I wasn't always like this, so I'm telling y'all, I'm sharing my story. Part of my story, I'm sharing it with y'all. Once you get all this together, make sure you are coachable. Create additional income streams. If you create additional income streams, you don't have to be in a state of panic. Oh, I just got my job and now I have no money and I'm using up all my savings. I done dipped into my investments and it's almost down to nothing. When you have additional income streams, it's called a freaking backup to a backup to a backup to a backup. That's what it's called. You know how I always talk about have a plan A, B, C? That's because my mama taught me that. My business coaches engraved it in me because they all got different streams of income. Number 3, create additional income streams. Number 4, if you are there, you might not be at number 4, but if you are there, diversify your investments. Now, keep this in mind. I believe in the early part of this year, I went over on the Let's Talk with Carolyn radio show, different type of investments that will yield you a greater return on your money. Go back and watch that episode because I already did that. So number 4 was diversify your investments. Number 5 is reduce your expenses. We already covered that. This recession and reset, 1 through 5, I just did is for individuals. Create an emergency fund, pay off your debt, create additional income streams, diversify your investments, and reduce your expenses. Individuals. Okay? Last part. Businesses. Whether you are brick and mortar, you are product-based, or you are service-based. You're going to be one of the two. You're going to be product-based or you're going to be service-based. It is what it is. Number 1, for businesses, develop a risk management plan. Businesses develop a risk management plan. You should be thinking about what would you do in a crisis like this? What is your backup? And if you have employees, oh my gosh, please consider them, because whatever decision you make is going to affect your independent contractors that's working for you or your employees that's working for you. So while you are developing your risk management plan, keep in mind, please keep in mind your independent contractors that's busting their ass for you every day and your employees that's definitely busting their ass for you every day. Because without those independent contractors and without those employees, what would your production and your bottom line be like if you didn't have them? So when you're doing your risk management plan, consider those individuals in that risk management plan. Don't count them out. Put them in there so that they are protected along with you and your family and your business. Number 2, same thing, reduce your expenses. You have some expenses, business owners, that you really don't need. But because you're doing so great in your business, you like to splurge a little bit. Reduce the expenses, cut down on the splurging in case a crisis happens like this again. Number 3, cross-train your staff. Cross-train your management team. Cross-train your employees. Cross-train your independent contractors. Whatever your business is, cross-train them. Don't be selfish. So some of y'all have that mentality, oh, I'm not going to train them. They don't need to know that. What they need to know how to do that for? Yo, start cross-training these people so your company can be well-rounded. And if somebody call out, hey, you got somebody that's cross-training know how to do it. Or if it's a product-based business and only certain people know the recipe to certain stuff, don't have the attitude of, they don't need to know how to make that. That's a selfish freaking mentality. What are you afraid of? They're going to go out and create the same thing that you did. So fucking what if they do? There's enough to go around for everybody. It is what it is. Number 4, focus on your clients and your customers. This is a time when you want to keep good quality and you want to continue to build relationships with your clients and your customers. You may be shut down, you may be closed, but hey, reach out to your clients, reach out to your customers, and if you can, if you are product-based, start considering doing curbside service, delivery service, drop it off at their doorstep. Like I told you about my friend who's on super high right now. Like she's so high, there's no bringing her down because every day she's clocking it. If she's not making $1,000 a day, it's 5,000. But she put in the work. She's busting her ass on quarantine status because the product that she has is essential. She has an essential product that people need. Not that they want, well, not so much as that they want it, but because they need it. And y'all heard me say before, is it a need or is it a want? In this situation, because of her product, they need it. And she's getting the clients and the customers, and she's doing the deliveries. My hands is up to her because she's doing the damn thing, as we say in the line dance floor. Number 5, don't cut your prices. Let me explain. You can offer a one-time extension and explain to your customers and your clients, listen, I am offering a one-time extension, or I'm offering a one-time discount, or I'm offering a one-time special. And y'all may say, Carol, why on earth would I want to do that? Because in times like this, people don't have it. People literally don't have it. I'm gonna give you an example. Y'all know I'm an educator, and I am a national educator where I teach my courses in all 50 states. Okay, so I know that it's renewal time for massage therapists, state license renewal, because massage therapist is governed by state massage therapy boards. In order for us to keep our license, we have to take continuing education courses in order to get our new license in our possession, and then we have to turn it in along with some other requirements that is put on us. So I know what time of day it is. People don't have their money or have a lot of it. So what did I do? I said, listen, I know that we are in a crisis time. So what I'm going to do is this one time only. Remember I said, don't cut prices, but offer a one-time extension, offer a one-time discount, or offer one-time specials. And what I said, listen, you can take up to 24 continuing education hours for $150. That's a heavy ass discount that I'm offering, but I'm helping those that cannot afford to pay me what my classes normally cost. They can't afford that right now. They don't have it. So that's my way of helping massage therapists, my colleagues across the country, number one, keep their freaking license so they can still continue to work. Because if they don't get their license renewed, they can't work. Then they really will be out of a job or out of a practice, whether it's spa, medical, or therapeutic. So that's my way of helping my colleagues so that they can keep their license. If I said, you know what, I could give 2 shits less about the crisis that we're in, my prices is still going to be the same. Am I helping my colleagues? Am I really looking out for them? No, I'm not. Because I know that they cannot afford to pay me anywhere from $700 to $5,000, or $700 to $1,500, or $700 to $2,500. They cannot afford to do that, depending on what it is that they're taking with me. So to help them keep their license, I reduce a one-time discount special. Will this ever happen again? Probably not. But this is what I mean, business owners. Work with the people that have been there for you and supported you. What do I mean by that? If you have clients and customers that came to your store or came and supported business or bought products or whatever or services from you, keep them in mind. Because when all this is over, guess what? You still want to have customers and clients coming to you to keep your business afloat. Business owners. That, my friends, is my presentation for the night. You have been listening to the Let's Talk of Carolyn radio show on Sador Radio. I am on every Monday night, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And just to recap what we talked about building up the immune system. That was number one. We talked about building up the immune system. And I gave y'all a lot of ways, from essential oils to foods to herbs to spices. The second thing we talked about was creating your own stimulus check. I told you how to do that. The last thing we talked about was resetting in a recession for individuals and resetting in a recession for businesses. So that's my time. I like to take the time out to thank everybody that has tuned in with me on Sador radio station. I appreciate your time. Anybody who catches this on a replay, on Facebook, on YouTube, on any of my social media platforms, just type in replay. Everybody, stay blessed up. Keep your heart beating, because that's what it is about today. I used to say stay safe, but I'm at a point where keep your heart beating, breathe easy, wear the mask, wear the gloves, keep your social distance, and stop freaking protesting. The hell you protesting for? For them to open up the country? Here's the thing, people. If they open up the freaking country too soon, guess what? More people going to become positive because they want to go. They're going to go out there. They're going to forget about the freaking social distancing, and then there's going to be more deaths. It is what it is. Good night, everybody. Keep breathing.